instruction. I'm not pointing any finger. I'm not accusing no one. If it wasn't for walk stop and so this one got it so done. One more year to sing my song. One more year to hang around and express my opinion and to condemn corruption. One more year, happy jamming. One more year of partying. One more year of winding down. One more year to win the crown.
Spirituality involves the recognition of a feeling or a sense of belief that there is something greater than myself. Something more to being human than sensory experience, and that the greater good which we are part of is cosmic or divine in nature. Oh Lord, is a blessing, yeah. And in the money you look at, it make me feel so blessed, yeah. Something stronger than preacher man, deeper than religion, blessed. Say, dropping on my knees and say, I feel so blessed, 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 blessed. Some say creator, and every Saturday at my door, knock, knock, Jehovah. But when it's made, it was tell me our Father. Respect mankind who they believe in a higher power. The Hail Selassie, your judge. When religion divide us and classify us, that man never hold a grudge and still come back to guide us. Sit beside us, eradicate all bad mind, that's saying a word. A man of action and true champion over the world. Oh Lord, is the blessing, yeah. And in the money you look at, it make me feel so blessed, yeah. Something stronger than
the views expressed during this program are not necessarily those of Wise Q95 FM Radio. Wise Q95 FM Radio has not been able to independently verify the factual correctness or the allegations and statements made during the course of this program and cannot vouch for their accuracy. Therefore, Wise Q95 FM Radio will not accept any responsibility or liability for the statements or allegations made in the course of this program.
The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau. Motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related perils, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you.
Just received Able Farm evaporated milk, delicious and nutritious, rich and creamy. Perfect for all uses, for drinking, for tea, coffee, cocoa, punches, juices, cooking, baking, ice pops, and ice cream, and everything else. Prices start as low as $1.55 per can. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available in 2 varieties, each in 2 sizes of cans. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available wholesale and retail at Esau Trading Limited. That milk nice, we boy. Esau Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
Milky milk, milky milk, milky, milky milk. Milky milk.
We are in the Atlantic hurricane season. Stay tuned to radio and television stations for regular bulletins. Rely only on official bulletins. Do not check these over the telephone. A message from Q95 FM Radio.
Feeling safe has never been as important as right now. As a mother, I trust Clean and White Bleach for a powerful and safe clean to sanitize and disinfect all areas of our home, especially now that it's our workplace, school, and playground. Like many other households, you too can be confident that Clean and White Bleach will kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses. Clean and White, the power of safe cleaning.
Clean and White Bleach, locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Messieurs, mesdames, get ready for one of the biggest gospel shows of 2025. Worshippers on the Frontline Volume 3. The Independence Edition happens Friday, September 26, 2025 at the Michael Bill Daniel Memorial Park in Goodwill under the patronage of Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton and Mr. Burton. Join faith-based groups, families, and friends for a powerful night of praise and unity featuring Michael Farrell, the Vatican Nazarene Worship Team, the Paybush Cultural Dancers, Apostle Charles York, Championing God, Sanctified, DJ Slim, DJ Shan, Beverly and Friends, and Vessels of Honor. Tickets only $10 at Tous Connexion, Bullseye Pharmacy, or any WOTF committee member. Support this nation-building exercise and purchase your $10 tickets or provide a donation to the Worshippers on the Frontline Committee, as 50% of all the proceeds will be given to the President's Charity Foundation. Worshippers on the Frontline Volume 3 Independence Edition, September 26, 2025 at the Michael Bill Daniel Memorial Park in Goodwill from 8 p.m. A people in praise, a people in unity.
Some of you have been longing to go into His presence. Come on, say.
They're smooth.
And then there's Guinness Smooth.
It's a brand new cool.
Incredibly smooth.
Perfectly balanced.
For a smooth and refreshing taste.
So how smooth? Well smooth. Guinness smooth.
For a smooth and refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly. Socialize responsibly.
Locally distributed by Belfast Estate Limited.
If you know your favorite store, dial it now. 612-1253. That's Mega. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Calabishi, right on the main road. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram at Megadeals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us. Visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. Buy it at Megadeals. Your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Megadeals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Megadeals for some real deals.
It's 1:32 in the afternoon. Welcome to Real Talk, Real Radio in real time on this platform here. You always know what's going to happen, but you never know who's going to come and appear with us and share with us some highlights, something exciting. And but this afternoon we have something brewing, and we have something bubbling, and we have something that is supposed to bring proof, a percentage proof. Yeah, we're talking this afternoon with two very fantastic ladies. I'm happy to be in their company. We're going to go on the first name basis. So I have Ariane and also Marcella. Marcella Harris and Ariane Perriman. I'm Franklin Peter Moses, and we go into Rosalie B. Why? Because they've got a distillery there. And I never knew that. Now I know. So I say, welcome. And okay, they're sober now, but pass me the glass and some ice, please. Yes, okay, good. Welcome, good afternoon. Put your mic a little closer to you. Okay, good, yeah. Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
You guys are, what time you woke up this morning? Because you guys look bright and bushy-tailed. Tell me, how was your day so far?
Very good, very good.
Nice. You came from the distillery as yet? Nothing yet?
No, we don't go up every day, right?
Okay.
Because of our different work profiles. But yeah, we're here to talk about the distillery. So.
Okay, so tell me, okay, where is it and how did it come about?
Okay, so let's start. Where is Rosalie Bay Distillery? We are located in Rosalie. We are right next to the Rosalie Bay Resort. How did it come about? I'm going to let Marcella speak on this a bit more because of her real intimate relationship with its development and why we're doing what we're doing.
Yes, Marcel.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Yes.
I am with the Dominica Sea Turtle Conservation Organization and Oceans Forward.
Yes.
These are two organizations that are interested in turtles, the ocean, conservation work, and making sure that our turtles have a habitat, a place to live.
A safe.
Yes, a safe place. And it takes a lot to do that. And one of the things that we try to do is get sustainable financing. And after Hurricane Maria, things became very difficult because a lot of stuff got destroyed, and we had to try to look for grants and financing for us to continue our sea turtle work.
Stuff like what that got destroyed? Important stuff like what got destroyed?
Most of our structures and the beaches too.
Okay.
Because the beaches were all laden with driftwood, which we thought we could have turned into driftwood art, but it didn't work out. We were trying all kinds of things. And these are challenges you face all the time. So we decided, in fact, we were talking among ourselves, and a couple of guys came up on a piece of not even paper, paper napkin, came up with a proposal that maybe what we should do is produce rum. Because we were looking and noticing that whenever there's a pandemic or a problem in the world, the banks still alive, the distilleries are still alive, the wineries are still alive. And then one of our friends at Oceans Forward, he came down and he said, Marcella, what do you think about rum? I said, well, every time people come to Dominica, that's the first thing they ask.
Yes.
Because we have a kind of different kind of rum. You could go straight into a rum shop and get the blend you want.
Yes.
Whether it be cinnamon or anise or whatever. Right.
Yes.
So
or you can get the bag.
So people, so people know about rum with us. So I said, yes, rum would be a good idea. And that's how it came about. And it started to grow after that. We got the reason for doing it mainly is that when we sell rum, we'll be able to pay our patrollers to protect the turtles on the beaches. We'll be able to do our research work that we need to do.
Okay.
We'll be able to do coral restoration because we have problems with coral throughout the Caribbean dying and here too. And the coral reefs are where the turtles, the baby turtles live and where the juveniles live. So all these things are part and parcel of what we need to do to protect the turtles. And we figured the sale of rum would help us to do that.
What do you have? You have the white rum, that one, the percentage proof. Give me the proof in the roof.
So I have one of our first bottles today. This is, I wonder if our viewers can see it.
We can see it.
Yeah. So this is it. This one is basically called
look at it. Yes.
Our it's our Rosalie Bay rum, but we also have different flavors and botanicals that we're coming out with. So some of the names that we'd love our listeners to look out for is Barana, Catalu. And we're doing an artist call right now for artwork for one of our limited edition rums. That one is called Lame Tuezo. I hope I said it correctly. Lame Tuezo, right? So, and as we go along, we're going to be developing new botanicals and new flavors and so forth. They're really specific to Dominica, to our heritage, to our culture, and to what we represent.
Okay, so you mentioned, because it sounds almost like synonymous with Damaso, which is very, very, very potent. But however, I just wanted to say that how widespread is it and where is it available?
Okay, so that's part of my job. That's why I am on board with Rosalie Bay Distillery, is to make the rum as accessible as possible for our visitors and for Dominica.
How are you doing that?
How?
Yeah, because festival is coming up, okay.
By these radio shows, and also too, we've done like a significant push in the marketplace over the last, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 months. So we're available in major liquor stores here and in several supermarkets as well, right? So I mean, I could name them out for you guys. We are available at Pirates. We're at the duty free stores. So at the airport and the port. We're also available at several of the supermarkets. Astafans was one of our biggest supporters, and they're the ones that called and said, hey, we want to get you guys on our shelves, right? So, I mean, there's incredible support and interest in the marketplace for something that is so unique, right? And the idea is it's a micro distillery. We're not looking to produce as well as we don't have the capacity to produce 10,000 bottles a year. It's micro, right? This
Okay,
is
yes.
handcrafted.
Yes.
This is using our spring water.
I was going to
right?
ask you this question. So,
Yeah.
what are the ingredients? What makes it unique? What makes it different?
What makes it unique is that firstly we have a very close relationship with our farmers. So we're using about 3 to 5 different types of sugarcane that are produced within a 10 to 50 mile radius of the distillery, right? So I mean, a lot of our conversation is going to overlap. So part of it is we have a very insignificant footprint when it comes to transportation of materials, right? So we're using farmers within the area as well as on the East Coast. So farmers on the East Coast, their type of sugarcane is going to be particularly have a particular taste to it, right? So when it gets a lot of salt, we have like salt notes coming out in the rum. If they're planting next to lime trees, then we get citrus notes. So it makes our blends, it makes Dominica rum very, very unique.
You're talking, and I'm looking, and I'm seeing the. I'm coming back to you, Marcella. I noticed that there is a nexus, a synergy of overlapping, and that we're using what is available for greater sustainability and protection of the. How did the idea come about, and is it having an impact at this point in time? And would you like to tell people that they're not wasting their money and that it's going full circle back into their bank?
You know, we in Dominica are part of and this is part of the fabric of Dominica, where we conserve, we preserve, we are resilient, and we bounce back easily, especially
yes.
after a storm or a hurricane. So that is all part of us. And remember, we have the Kalinago people here, and they are still here because of their resilience, and that is what is the strength of Dominica. And I presume that you know, we're going to be doing even better and more things with the rum, because we're going to go into other areas, and hopefully we'll be selling the more we produce, which we don't want to overproduce and not sell it, but we're trying to keep the market and sell.
The sales brisk?
Yes.
Is it reasonable? Is it encouraging?
I think the first year was good. The first year wasn't bad.
Okay. When you say first year, like how many years now?
We were able to sell, and although we did not make a big profit, because there were, you know, the first time you get into something, you have to
you almost break even.
You don't know, right? Yes. That is what was happening with us. But we are looking for ways and means of doing other things, adding things, like as Ariane was saying, we're adding we're going to be doing our own mixing and blending. So
okay, don't say it. Don't say it. I'm coming back to that. That's what I want to know. I want to know that.
Ocean is calling, and so are we. Rosalie Bay Distillery, the world's only conservation distillery, is launching a limited edition rum, Toizo La Mer, Treasures of the Sea, and we want your artwork on the label. If you're a Dominican creative, painter, illustrator, designer, this is your chance to make history, capture the rhythm of the sea, our wild coast, our hidden treasures, and it could be your artwork on every bottle of this limited edition rum. The winning artist receives 1,000 EC, a feature on our platforms, a first edition bottle, and the chance to collaborate with our team. Submit your design by September 30th to kgeorge@oceanspower.org or deliver it in person at Nature Island Dive or the Rosalie Conservation Center. For full entry details and questions, visit us on Instagram at Rosalie Bay Distilling or email kgeorge@oceanspower.org. Rosalie Bay Distillery, where craft meets conservation.
Okay, at 1:44 evening, afternoon time. Okay, so the next question before we went to tell people about the special that's available now, so all artists can get yourselves ready, and there's a cash reward for you for coming up with some great, brilliant, creative ideas. No, you were about to pass the bottle. You were about to explain something. No, the smaller one.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So, what is the difference? What's there's one clear, there's one dark. Is it?
So the white rum is going to be the closest to how we have produced rum
Mm-hmm.
in the islands, right? So it's very close to like how they produce in Martinique and Guadeloupe.
Mm-hmm.
And that is known as like a rum agricole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a white rum that goes through a 3-part distilling process.
Mm-hmm.
When we have it colored, it's a combination of either it being flavored or part of an aging process.
Mm-hmm.
So what some of our producers or manufacturers have done is they've also looked at importing barrels from around the world for flavoring the rum,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we're experimenting right now with like with a apple cider flavor, right? And we have one that is based off our local molasses. Something that I forgot to mention earlier is the rum is 100%. It's 100% organic, right? So we are in line with our farmers that are sustainably producing, organically producing, and we also use different mechanisms and methods to maintain or ensure that they are aligned with the organic process, right?
Mm-hmm.
And organic is something that in the wellness world we're seeing being thrown about more and more, and it's something that people are wanting, they're requesting, they're looking for products that
There's a market for it.
There's a market for it, right? They're looking for products that they know is not harming the producers, right? So the people that are growing the food, and is not harming the ones that are manufacturing it, right? And obviously not going to be harming them, right? So I think it's very interesting, it's very unique how everything overlaps and is intertwined with the bigger picture, which is conservation and preservation of Dominica, of who we are.
I'm not going to ask you to reveal your product secrets, but how long does it take to make a batch of your product?
The white rum would take several weeks.
What's the formula? Do you get put the sugar cane to ferment, and what do you add in it, and how do you get this thing flavor?
So it starts off as sugarcane crushing. So we're not really using. So we're using sugarcane juice. So in as much as we call it rum, it's really and truly rum juice, right? So we crush the cane, then it goes through a distilling process, and then through the distilling process, we're able to decipher at what point we want to either add botanicals, right? So the first distilling process creates something that is probably similar to, I'm going to say, rubbing alcohol, right? And then it goes through 2 more phases until we get what we want.
Okay. And when you source you have only glass bottles. Where do you source them? Because this one looks rather interesting. It looks like something Captain Bligh would have.
Well, that whole process has been very a bit chaotic, right?
Okay.
So
It doesn't seem so.
So we've been.
They look like collectibles.
Yeah,
Yes.
they really are collectibles. These, I believe, Marcella, these are sourced from Mexico. Is that correct?
I know we were exploring many different places. Australia was one of the places that we got designs from, but the actual bottle may have come from Mexico. The actual, the making of it.
Yeah, wide shoulder. Yeah,
wide shoulder. Even the corking process has been a trial and error aspect for the distillery, right? So we started off. Obviously, we're looking for biodegradable corks, which we were able to find, right? But the first set of corks that we used, when it came into contact with the rum, it would change the color of the rum, right?
Okay.
So the process has really been like hit and miss, and some weeks or some months has been more misses than hits, but eventually we're here, we're producing, and we're producing something that's a luxury product, right? So we speak about Dominica in terms of what we produce, in terms of our tourism product, and a lot of times we don't have a lot that is available for a a higher clientele. This is definitely something that that a premium clientele would be interested in, right? Not only just the product, but just the entire process. Each bottle has a QR code.
What's that?
The QR code is where you can scan it, so you can use your phone and scan it, and this is going to eventually give you information as to where the sugar cane came from and the farmer that produced it, right?
Right.
And
yes.
yeah, and this is what is very interesting now to the type of tourism clientele that is coming to the Caribbean, because they want to ensure that they are not affecting negatively the environment, right? They want to know that they're giving back, that what they're doing and what they're interested in is giving back to the local community, right?
Marcella, how
But the actual bottle, the bigger bottles here,
yes,
you can, on the back of it, you can read and see the date when it was produced, the still, where the cane was obtained, and who was the farmer involved in it. And I think that is very important. People, if they visit Dominica, they want to say, well, where's this place where I bought this from? Let me go and see it, you know? So I think that is an interesting aspect of it too.
That's part of the conservation and preservation aspects of it.
Yes.
How important is it for you now to really articulate the need for us to protect the environment and our natural resources?
Well, more so than ever, because we have had all over the world, they've had a reduction in the number of turtles, and we have had problems with poaching of turtles in Dominica.
Yes.
So we know we need to conserve. You see, our turtles are different. They come to Dominica.
Right. I was about to ask you. Right. Did leatherback? What did
the leatherback lives during the year in the North Atlantic, but they come down to the Caribbean.
Yes.
To nest, because on the warm sands.
Yes.
But leatherbacks are coming. They're coming to all the islands in the Caribbean.
Yes.
And our leatherbacks, once we tag them and they keep coming to our island, we know exactly where they go now because we've done so much research. And this is why we need to have this rum production so we can make money, so we could continue our research.
Tell me how far have you gotten a local let's say turtleback that has a Dominican, let's say that turtle was born in Daly's, that turtle go off Australia and come back?
Well, a turtle, when we say a Dominican turtle, the leatherbacks live in the North Atlantic, but they come here and they nest.
Yes.
And when
you tag it here, have they come back and somebody say, well, we saw it in Australia, we saw it?
But we have had cases because the Caribbean leatherbacks stay within the Caribbean.
Okay, wonderful.
For example, on leatherback season ends in August, and all the leatherbacks throughout the region are going back up to the North Atlantic. Ours go right up the middle of the North Atlantic, while, for example, the ones from Trinidad go and they hug the east coast of the United States. But on the way up, when they're leaving to go back up, we have had leatherbacks that have had just a few eggs left in them, and they'd stop here and have them and lay them. And how we know it's because the turtles has been tagged in Trinidad, and we see the tags and we tell them, okay, your leatherback turtle stopped in Dominica and laid its last hatch. So we know that can happen. But what we have done with the leatherbacks is put satellite tags on them, so we track where they go. So after they leave us, they go up the middle of the North Atlantic, and then they go to the right and go up to England, come down along Europe and down to Africa. So we know.
Yes.
And our turtles come back every 2 years. Yeah. That's the leatherbacks, eh?
Yes.
The hawksbills and the greens are Caribbean turtles, and they stay in the Caribbean. So we have hawksbills and greens here as well. So it means that it's so important for us to know and for us to contribute to the worldwide research on leatherbacks, because they find that there is a reduction in the number of leatherbacks. The groups in Trinidad realize they're getting 5% less turtles coming in, and we know we have lost some to poaching. But it means too that when they go up to the North Atlantic, they eat the giant jellyfish, and the giant jellyfish eat the baby fish. So we are protecting the American fisheries by
Mm.
keeping them alive here for them to go up and you know.
Mhm.
So, and we do the same thing with ours because the hawksbills and the greens keep our coral reefs clean. The hawksbills eat the sponges, and the greens eat the grasses that can overgrow the coral
coral
reefs,
reef,
and that
yes.
is why it's so important. And it's even more important now because our coral reefs are dying throughout the Caribbean area. So conservation is so important, and we have to understand that these turtles are providing food for us by keeping a coral reef clean,
Clean, yes.
because
Okay.
because those baby fish become adult fish that feed us. So
Mhm,
it's very
mhm.
important.
So it's a multi-purpose spearhead.
The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau: motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related perils, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you.
And we need to bring up.
And we're continuing discussion here this afternoon. We're talking the Rosalie Bay Distillery. We have our nice little panel here, and there's just two of them. But I see we have at this point in time we have 4 bottles. So that means two of you all didn't produce just 4 bottles. There must be a team. However, I don't know if we can accommodate. I'm not sure if they're calling for you, but they may be calling for you. So let me see. Are you calling for the program? Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm calling
You're breaking up. No.
your guest. Very interesting program.
Thank you.
I have maybe more than one question, but the first one is I heard the lady mention some of the name of the liquor when you just started the program.
Yes.
If she could explain a little bit, how did they come up with the names? Because I've never heard about these names. Number 2, the proof on the alcohol. Number 3, if I'm in Dominica and I want to purchase alcohol, I'm a traveling visitor. Is it cheaper to buy at the distillery, at the factory, or at the outlet? Is there a different price? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, is it? They want to take the first one first. The first one is the names. How did you come up with the names, the creative names that she's so excited about?
Okay, so I can't speak to all of the names, but several of the names are Kalinaga words, right? And again, this just goes back to the essence of Dominica, of the rum, of why we're here, of the essence of resilience, right? Catalu means turtle in Kalinago. Barana means sea. Am I right? Sea. Some
I know the Ote, so I'm trying to remember. So somebody's going to comment. Somebody from Territory is going to comment and tell me what Barana. I know what they say.
Barana, I'm like 90% sure that it means sea. Tuezolame is treasures of the sea, right, in Creole. So so I don't really know the history behind every single name, but that's just to give a little background on that. In terms of the pricing, we definitely want to invite everybody to come up to the distillery. We are going to be offering distillery tours very soon. We don't yet have a start date on that, but you can email or call if there is something that you would like to set up for your group. Eventually, the idea is that we're going to be generating funds from several different sources. So the sale of the rum is one. tours at or to the distillery is another, and combination tours. So when we're looking at packages where people come in and they visit different micro distilleries around Dominica, and including is Rosalie Bay. Another question I think that you asked was about the pricing. So we control the pricing at the distillery, and we control the pricing that we sell it at. We sell it to the retailers, right? But we don't control what they sell it at. We do a suggestion, but it's really up to them. So in terms of where would you get it cheaper? We want you to come to the distillery. So email us and let's set up a tour for you and your group.
Okay. Guess what? We have another caller online. Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for calling. 2:00.
Good afternoon. Good program. I'm hoping a few of the farmers that are selling to the distillery are listening. You know?
Yes.
Most importantly, I know there is one of the letters that you sign, you know, one of the for the contract letter that you sign under the distillery. They are also telling you, I'm not sure if you're gonna go on that because this is very important, you know, where they are, but I think they're telling you that if you as a farmer encroach on any of turtles, I'm not trying to save it, but you as a farmer trying to butcher a turtle, they will not buy anything from you. And I think that is very important for preserving such as the turtles, you know. But I think it's a good program overall. I think it is something that many of the farmers should give thumbs up, especially those that are selling to the Rosalie Bay distillery. Yes, I'm happy when they said about the farmers got to be organic. That is quite true. As well as we should try to protect nature as much as possible, both on land as we are growing on land, on and as well on sea. I know Ms. Ferryman, I know be happy to hear on sea and Ms. Harris as well, you know, because these people certainly take nature quite high on the agenda, like including myself. I mean, I know it's a maybe farm that is like my farm because we do a bit of recycling on our farm, on DCB farm. I really wish more farmers were doing more recycling because all this garbage that I see when I normally talk to many places that I pass, I have an issue with people are not using their garbage better, and people are using their garbage to blame whoever that are so-called supposed to pick up their garbage. I think even that is another issue as well that needs to be addressed. And it's not hard in addressing because I do not have a garbage issue even at my home because I do sort a lot of garbage. You know, so I really hope, you know, if all the plastic that goes to the water areas that laid up to the sea, either the river, which should not have ever been, or even the ravines, you know. But I think it's a good program overall. And I'm hoping that more farmers, you know, especially those that are selling to the Rosalie Bay, would look at it as a very good income towards their farm and their family.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, Marcella, you want to say something? Yes.
I think it's important for us to indicate here that all of this has been produced by a team of people.
Yes.
Everybody has a role to play, and it's very important that first of all, if we don't have patrollers on the beaches protecting the turtles, we will have no turtles.
Yeah. So you call them team conservation. Conservation.
Yes. And we have been Dominica Sea Turtle Conservation has been in partnership with Oceans Forward for many years because they once funded a program that we had called Floating Classrooms. And so we have had an ongoing relationship for them for many years. And even with Rosalie Bay Resort, because Rosalie Bay Resort, before the resort was built, they protected the turtles on Rosalie Beach, Rusty. And when Rusty had to come to an end, Dominica Sea Turtle Conservation came about. So it's very important. Not only that, now we've reached the point of rum production. Our distiller is a young woman. And
you want to tell us who she is? It's up to you.
Kenyan George.
Good,
Yes.
wonderful. Yes.
What happened is that Ocean 4 was organized for somebody to come down from the States to train her. So I'm very, very proud to say that our distiller is a woman, a young
Nice.
woman.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, we have an overseas caller. Yes. You're on over. Yes.
Yes. Yes, my brother. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Moses, and your guests today.
Yes.
My brother, the emphasis your guests have on the studio, the content about the turtles. I wonder if they have that same emphasis on the way that our people are succumbing to a lot of illnesses in Dominica in the hospital. Have the same thing about people. You take care of the people, we eventually going to take care of the wildlife. Have that same emphasis on our young people that's dying in Dominica. Dominica is not all that nice. You're making it sound like Dominica is a paradise right now.
Okay, my brother, we appreciate your input, but for the time being, we are focusing right now on an emerging industry and the necessary framework that they're being put in place that is evolving and revolving around that. When they manufacture these special, unique, one-of-a-kind rums, the money goes back into enhancing the protection and preservation of some of our existing natural resources. I thank you very much for your insight. And what you're saying is that we hope that we place equal emphasis on the general health and well-being of others. But we appreciate that insight and that comment.
Yes.
But you said that there's a team, and we mentioned that there's a lady who's in charge of yes.
She's the distillery and the manager at the conservation center. Now we had to build a conservation center.
Yes.
And so there are people who are involved in construction. There are people involved in working on solar panels, because we want to be 100%
resilient and sustainable, right?
By 2026.
Yeah. So I also wanted to just add on what Marcelo was talking about, right? Is regarding the patrollers, the beach patrollers, a lot of them are our farmers, right? So I mean, like, everything is so interrelated and interconnected and so important. So I'll let you speak more about the rest of the staff at the distillery.
Right. So they're constructing the buildings, and we have to have storage for all these barrels to store the rum. So we have people working on that. And we need to maintain a building. And it means somebody has to do the electrical, somebody has to do the air conditioning. It's lots of work. And somebody has to ensure that we have water. All these things are very important. So we have a good group of people that are working there. And then in terms of our coordinators and persons who are working like Ariane, who we have working with us too. There are a lot of people that are playing a role that is very important. So we don't pretend to be the two people. We know it's a whole big team there that's working with us.
Yeah, it's a huge team. And we also need to mention the coral restoration aspect, which is super important. And I just want to say a few words about that. So basically, in 2021, there was an invasive disease that traveled down the Caribbean islands from Florida. The name of the disease is a stony coral tissue loss disease. And what's so interesting is the sale of the rum is funding the restoration of the coral, where the home base is in Soufriere. So shout out to Nature Island Dive, Wendy and Simon. And through their facility and their efforts, they have been able to enlarge their network of staffing. And most of the staffing are volunteer staff, right? And it's been an intense collaborative effort through their networks throughout the Caribbean and throughout the States, in terms of what they've been able to do to restore coral, to then eventually to place it back into the ocean, right? So initially they had started treating the coral in the ocean, and I think that was not as successful as it needed to be. So a facility was secured, and coral was harvested from the ocean and put into coral tanks, and then the restoration started in the tanks for eventual replanting into the back into its home, right? So let's talk a little bit about the importance of coral, right?
Okay, let me ask you that. Let you continue with this. Let's take this caller.
Sorry.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Yes, Mr. Moses, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to
And
you,
your
sir.
guest.
Yes, right here.
Very informative program, Mr. Moses.
Thank you very much.
I just want to, I have a concern I want to ask those guests about. I heard they said that when these turtles go up to the North Atlantic, then it goes back to Africa. When it reaches Africa, what happens? That's what they thought that they need to- when it goes back to Africa, is it coming back to the Caribbean? Is it staying in Africa? I just have that concern. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes. Okay, yeah. But
I was just
explain again. Yeah.
Yes, I was just telling you that we put a satellite tag on leatherbacks, and we know that it went as far as Africa, but we know it goes beyond that, and it makes full circle and comes back to Dominica within 2 years. But it lives mainly up in the North Atlantic, but they travel throughout. In some of the islands, the turtles can take as long as 3 years to come back. But they don't stay out in Africa. They're constantly swimming. The giant leatherbacks are huge, and they have to keep moving all the time. They don't keep still. They
Stationary,
keep,
yes.
yes,
Mhm.
and they have to come up to breathe. So when they dive at the depth, they come back up, and that's when the satellite hits them, and so it shows us on a map exactly where they are, and that's why we can track them.
Yeah.
What? Yes. Sorry.
No. I was going to say they travel without a passport. They don't stop in customs. They don't have nothing to declare. Yeah, so they just enjoy themselves and go from country to country.
What is really interesting though is our turtles here, the
Mhm.
greens and the hawksbills. We need to know what is happening with our turtles because they are protecting our reefs here.
How you know the difference? How will I know the difference between them or among them? If there's more than two, what is the greenback green? Is the hawksbill looking like a hawk with a bill?
Yes.
Yes. So,
Some
so
of
we
them
need to
have-
know. Okay.
Some of them have, we
Okay.
can
Oh, based on
identify
this
them,
shell
right.
structure.
Now we have
Okay.
leatherbacks that come up here to nest,
Okay,
greens
those here,
and
okay.
hawksbills. We
Okay.
used to have loggerheads, but they have been killed out.
Okay, so
The
I'm going to,
loggerhead.
for those who can see, I'm going to put this a little closer.
my
For those who
God.
can see, so these, as you can, yes, that's a little better. Yes, so those of you at home who can see. However,
Those are Caribbean. All those six
Yes,
are
so we
Caribbean
have
turtles,
6
but
turtles.
only 3 come up in Dominica.
Okay.
Come up to nest.
Yeah, so one is the Camp Ridley turtle. That's a
Mhm.
big kind of name.
The Latin
And-
names.
Yeah, I know. And then they've got the hawksbill turtle and the leatherback turtle and the loggerhead turtle and the green turtle and the olive ridley turtle. So
Now-
we have 6 of those.
Now, most of these turtles are all around the Caribbean, but
Mhm.
only the 3 that we talked about, the green, the hawksbill, and the leatherback, come up on Dominica to nest.
Okay.
But sometimes you can see other turtles out in
Yes.
at sea.
Okay, we have a short time remaining. You were about to say something before I rudely interrupted you. You were talking about
So basically
yes,
about the
that's
coral, right?
Yes, yes.
So just putting a little emphasis on the importance of coral, right? So historically, my background throughout my
What is your
childhood,
background?
my background is very diverse. But
Mhm.
I was raised in tourism, right?
Mhm.
So Dive Dominica, founded by my father, was one of the first dive shops in Dominica, and
Where I met Tom Cruise.
Okay, probably. And Dominica had been known from the 80s onwards as having some of the most diverse, rich, and healthy coral reefs in the Caribbean. So the importance of coral is significant, right? So coral reefs are basically our nurseries for
That's
all
right.
of our small fish. Well, nurseries, small fish, right? For all of our larger species, right? And they need this safe space where they can eat, where they can grow until they can go out into the deeper, more profound oceans. What is coral? I think human beings are still trying to understand what really is coral.
Are they alive?
Yes.
Yeah. So coral is a combination of plant, of animal, and of minerals. So
It's
it's
living.
it's a living species or it's a living being, but I feel like coral has its own category of whatever it is, right? Yeah.
How important that coral? Well, to the marine environment.
Coral reefs
Yes.
protect your coastlines.
Mhm.
So
How so? Like from
when the waves break,
Okay.
when we have a bad hurricane, if the coral reef isn't there protecting the coastline, we'll get washed away. Huh? A lot of the
But God good we?
yes.
So we have our own self-defense mechanism there, all naturally
and the
set up, right?
lagoon, the lago, as we say,
Yeah.
also protects our coastlines. Huh? So we need to protect.
We have coral all over Dominica, and from the which coast, which areas in south, northeast, where you have more
Yes.
prevalence for more protection.
Well, you get coral everywhere, but what I understand is that the leatherback tends to come up where there isn't too much coral because it needs the rough Atlantic waves
Current,
to help
okay.
it to push itself up onto because it's a huge turtle.
Yes,
And you don't get a lot of they're coral reefs, but they're deep on the east coast.
Mm-hmm.
But on the west coast, they're shallower, and that's where we don't normally see leatherbacks coming up.
Mhm.
Although we have in the last few years seen.
Okay, good afternoon. Final call, 2:15 afternoon time. We're talking with Ariane Perryman and Marcella Harris.
Yes, good afternoon, Marcella Harris and the rest. And the
Ariane.
point.
Yeah.
Good
Okay,
afternoon.
Right. I've been trying to listen well. I've been listening, and to me, I get the sense that the emphasis about protecting the turtles is on the East Coast, and I'm trying to wonder why would that be?
I don't think so. Clarify that, Marcella.
No.
You want to stand in line, or you have another question to ask? Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, Dominica Sea Turtle Conservation Organization works in collaboration with the Forestry Division.
Mm-hmm.
And they have given us a permit where we are permitted to go on all the beaches in Dominica to protect turtles and to collect data. And we also patrol the West Coast. We patrol Point Ginad, Champagne, Lubia, coming all the way, Mero, Layu, St. Joe.
Have you seen them coming in? Have you witnessed being on the site when you saw a turtle coming in?
Yes,
Okay.
all the time. The patrollers see it all the time. And I don't patrol as much now on the beaches, but if there's a problem, I will go.
Yes.
If a patroller has a problem and they call me, but I used to patrol. I used to patrol at Rosalie.
When they come in, what do? They look for a special nice soft sand? Do they use their paddles, or if they come into to lay, or what do they just hang out?
Leatherbacks like the sand. Leatherbacks
Yes.
like the sand.
Yes.
The greens and the hawksbills like to go right up into the vegetation to lay.
Mm-hmm.
But the leatherbacks like this sand, and I think two leatherbacks are so huge for them to travel right up into the beach would be tiring for them. But they know what they're about. They come, and a leatherback, once it starts to dig, if it feels water, because it's digging with its back flippers, if it feels water, it can stop digging there because it knows that those eggs will get will spoil.
Okay.
So it will go and look for another spot. If there's a stone there and you take the stone out and it feels that the stone has come out, it continues to dig. So they're very intelligent creatures. They're the last of the what do you call them? Oh gosh, I forget.
Dinosaurs.
The last of the
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs. They were on Earth when dinosaurs were on
Yes.
Earth, right?
Okay. Last one. Final last. Okay. So we lost it. Okay. Marcella and Ariane. Okay. Ariane, one more time. Tell me about the product and where it's available and how to contact you.
So really and truly, we came on today we came on today to call out artists to submit artwork, illustration, any type of creative that you would like to see on one of these bottles. So we are doing a special edition, and we would love a collaboration with a Dominican artist. There are prizes to be won. You'll obviously be featured, and although we are not well known in Dominica, this rum has already won three awards internationally. So you have exposure to the international market, right? So that's one where
but hold on. You tell me where. Finally, last person. Yes, quickly.
Yes, Franklin, I heard you talking about whether whoever seen these people, but I've seen them trying to come on, and I've witnessed the little ones going back to the sea. And what's amazing, when they almost reach the water, they turn and they want to be moved, turtles and so on, and then go.
Oh, we lost him. Okay, he said so they have a courtesy call. They make a final thank you to the land, and then they go back. Okay, that's a nice. What do you call it? A ritual, nice natural ritual. Okay, we're at 2:30. We have a press conference supposedly at the Prime Minister's office. But Marcella and Ariane, you guys seem to be touching some of this nice nerve over there. Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Quickly, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to know how old the turtle get. Do you have an idea?
Okay, thank you.
The leatherback, after it leaves the shores as a hatchling, it would usually come back by about 25 years to start the nest. And they say that there's one in the States was like 100 years old, because they tagged it and they knew when it kept coming back.
Wow.
So it means that when you see a turtle and to you it seems huge, it really is a young turtle that has come back maybe for the first time to lay. So please do not kill our turtles. Let them survive.
Yeah. So
Yes, Ariel.
so we're closing off with remember coral, right? Coral, the importance of coral for turtles, for fish, for our nursery systems. Turtle protection. I don't need to say any more, Marcella's.
Yeah, and part of proceeds of the sale of alcohol goes into the conservation project.
Well, it's actually over 90% of the proceeds go back into preservation and conservation, right? So so some is kept back for just admin and distilling, maintenance, etc., etc.
Yes.
Right? But it all.
You're not drawing from the last question, or
what's the last question?
Percentage proof.
So this one. So again, it's all experimentation, right?
Yes.
So our 750 ml size is 48% proof, I think. It's 48% proof, but we are experimenting with different proofs, right?
Yes.
So it's not going to be like all are going to be 48% proof. So we have done experiments where we're coming out with like a 60% proof and so forth.
So basically, when you drink it, the proof is in the drinking.
The proof is in the drinking. And remember, we're pouring to protect, right?
Oh, like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
pour to protect,
We're
right?
pouring
Yeah,
to protect.
yeah.
Yes.
So
on the rocks or straight?
Cocktail, anything you want.
I do not masala that.
Anything you want. Cocktails on your
Yeah,
rocks.
but cheese are Trinity the bone boy. Okay, you guys, it was really fun. I think our audience really got a greater perspective and understanding of your work, Marcella, together with self-preservation of our natural resource, and your excellent work. I know your dad will be so proud of you. If he's not already, he's like watching. Say that's my child. Well, thank you guys for coming, for being here today.
Thank you, listeners.
Thank you very much for having us here. Thank you.
Yes, I've been inundated with smiles. There's smiles that goes miles.
The ocean is calling, and so are we. Rosalie Bay Distillery, the world's only conservation distillery, is launching a limited edition rum to Ezola Mer, Treasures of the Sea, and we want your artwork on the label. If you're a Dominican creative, painter, illustrator, designer, this is your chance to make history. Capture the rhythm of the sea, our wild coast, our hidden treasures, and it could be your artwork on every bottle of this limited edition rum. The winning artist receives 1,000 EC, a feature on our platforms, a first edition bottle, and the chance to collaborate with our team. Submit your design by September 30th to kgeorge@oceanspower.org or deliver it in person at Nature Island Dive or the Rosalie Conservation Center. For full entry details and questions, visit us on Instagram at Rosalie Bay Distilling or email kgeorge@oceanspower.org. Rosalie Bay Distillery, where craft meets conservation.
Yeah. But before you go, the final word.
So, pour to protect. Look out for us at all major supermarkets, and go onto our Facebook page, Rosalie Bay Distillery. When you see us in the supermarket or at any of the retailers, take a picture and tag us, please.
It's Marcel.
Yes, one of the things that we're also going to be doing, I must talk about protection and conservation, is that if we do have turtles coming up on our shores and they are injured, we're setting up a hospital using some of these same funds at the Rosalie Conservation Center. So that conservation center is very, very important to all of our work.
Okay. So we have a turtle hospital.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. You guys have fun. Looking forward to see you.
Thank
guys.
you very
Okay.
much.
All right.
The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau: motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related perils, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you.
Just received Able Farm evaporated milk, delicious and nutritious, rich and creamy. Perfect for all uses, for drinking, for tea, coffee, cocoa, punches, juices, cooking, baking, ice pops, and ice cream, and everything else. Prices start as low as $1.55 per can. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available in 2 varieties, each in 2 sizes of cans. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available wholesale and retail at Esar Trading Limited. That milk nice, boy. Esar Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
Milky milk, milky milk, milky milky milk.
We are in the Atlantic hurricane season. Stay tuned to radio and television stations for regular bulletins. Rely only on official bulletins. Do not check these over the telephone. A message from Q95 FM Radio.
Feeling safe has never been as important as right now. As a mother, I trust Clean and White bleach for a powerful and safe clean to sanitize and disinfect all areas of our home, especially now that it's our workplace, school, and playground. Like many other households, you too can be confident that Clean and White bleach will kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses. Clean and White, the power of safe cleaning.
Clean and White bleach, locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Messieurs, mesdames, get ready for one of the biggest gospel shows of 2025. Worshippers on the Frontline Volume 3, the Independence Edition, happens Friday, September 26, 2025, at the Michael Bill Daniel Memorial Park in Goodwill, under the patronage of Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton and Mr. Burton. Join faith-based groups, families, and friends for a powerful night of praise and unity, featuring Michael Farrell, the Bataka Nazarene Worship Team, the Bush Cultural Dancers, Apostle Charles York, Championing God, Sanctified, DJ Slim, DJ Shan, Beverly and Friends, and Vessels of Honor. Tickets only $10 at Toots Connexion, Bullseye Pharmacy, or any WOTF committee member. Support this nation-building exercise and purchase your $10 tickets or provide a donation to the Worshippers on the Frontline Committee, as 50% of all the proceeds will be given to the President's Charity Foundation. Worshippers on the Frontline Volume 3 Independence Edition, September 26, 2025, at the Michael Bill Daniel Memorial Park in Goodwill from 8 p.m. A people in praise, a people in unity.
Some of you been longing to go into His presence. Come on, say
There's Smooth.
And then there's Guinness Smooth.
It's a brand new cool.
Incredibly smooth.
Perfectly balanced.
For a smooth and refreshing taste.
So how smooth? Well smooth. Guinness Smooth.
For a smooth and refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly. Socialize responsibly.
Locally distributed by Belfast Estate Limited.
If you know your favorite store, dial it now. 612-1253. That's Mega. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Calabishi, right on the main road. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram as Mega Deals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us, visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. Buy it at Mega Deals. Your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Mega Deals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Mega Deals for some real days.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Do It Center shoppers, we have exciting news. Your favorite home improvement destination just got a major upgrade. Get ready to experience the all-new Do It Center online store. Fresh look, same great products, and super user-friendly. Find what you're looking for in a snap. Need assistance? We've got you covered. Connect with our live chat agents for real-time assistance. But that's not all. Introducing the convenience of seamless online payments with reliable delivery service straight to your door. Shopping for quality products has never been this easy. Don't miss out. Visit store.doitcenterdominica.com and experience the new era of our online shopping. Do It Center, your partner in home improvement.
Monsieur, Mesdames, get ready for one of the biggest gospel shows of 2025. Worshippers on the Frontline Volume 3. The Independence Edition happens Friday, September 26, 2025 at the Michael Bill Daniel Memorial Park in Goodwill under the patronage of Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton and Mr. Burton. Join faith-based groups, families, and friends for a powerful night of praise and unity featuring Michael Farrell, the Bataka Nazarene Worship Team, the Bush Cultural Dancers, Apostle Charles York, Championing God, Sanctified, DJ Slim, DJ Shan, Beverly and Friends, and Vessels of Honor. Tickets only $10 at Toots Connexion, Bullseye Pharmacy, or any WOTF committee member. Support this nation-building exercise and purchase your $10 tickets or provide a donation to the Worshippers on the Frontline Committee, as 50% of all the proceeds will be given to the President's Charity Foundation. Worshippers on the Frontline Volume 3 Independence Edition, September 26, 2025 at the Michael Bill Daniel Memorial Park in Goodwill from 8 p.m. A people in praise, a people in unity.
Some of you have been longing to go into His presence. Come on, play.
Go do it shopping for farming supplies. So I ask you, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? You tell me, Gus, how the hell sort? I've been married 37 years. Come at my money farm. They say, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
That's why I want to say thank you.
On Friday, August 29th at 10:50 a.m., Creole Helmet and Q95 FM invite you to a moment of national reflection, a living tribute to one of Dominica's most impactful sons, Honorable Julius Timothy, a statesman, a visionary, a sportsman, an exceptional businessman, a servant of the people, a man who stood firm when bold ideas needed brave voices. When the World Creole Music Festival was just a dream, Julius Timothy stood up. He championed it. He fought for it. And today, 28 years later, the World Creole Music Festival echoes the world. A global cultural legacy rooted in the courage of men like him. And as we celebrate this milestone, we awaken the spirit of our ancestors. Those who fought for freedom, who overcame shackles, suffering, and silence, and who gave birth to our rhythm, our language, our music. Now as the drum beat deep within us,
let us rise up and pay tribute to a man who believed in his people, who believed in Dominica. Let us give him what every living legend deserves: gratitude, respect, love. Join us August 29, the Julius Timothy Day, recognized by Creole Headbit and Q95 FM. Family, friends, colleagues, fellow Dominicans, call in, share your words, celebrate his journey. Let us honor Julius Timothy now while his heart still beats with us, because true gratitude is most powerful when it's given in life. Friday, August 29, 10:50 a.m. on Q95 FM. A living tribute to Julius Timothy, brought to you by Creole Handbit and Q95 FM as part of our celebration of the World Creole Music Festival at 25. Let the habit of a grateful nation be heard.
To you, that's why I wanna sing and carry, cash and carry, and carry, cash and carry.
Carry, we offer the finest selection of products that cater to your every need, from groceries to household essentials. Our shelves are stocked with quality items that are sure to impress. And guess what? We're not just great for wholesale, we're also your go-to place for all your food service needs. Located right opposite the Immigration Department on King George V Street in Roseau, we take pride in providing you with an unforgettable shopping experience. Our friendly staff is here to assist you in each and every step of the way. Ready to place an order or have a question? Call us at 316-0184 or 255-6823.
And carry, cash and carry, and carry, cash and carry.
We can't wait to see you. As part of our continuing coverage of what's unfolding and happening in every corner of the Commonwealth of Dominica, we give you carpet covering of every event as they emerge, whether it's on the political, economic, defense, preservation, conservation. If it's a conversation of national importance, it will be here. This is Talk on the Block, and the Block Talk is going, supposedly we're waiting to make connection at the Prime Minister's office. A press conference today, Thursday, August 28th already. Yeah, today's the 28th, right? It's supposed to start at 2:30, but it's 2:30. So we're still monitoring. Let me see if we can talk about something in the meantime, or we play a song. Anybody want to hear any special song before we join? Anything else that's on your mind? Anything? Just talk to me. Tell me what's in your mind. Just give me a talk that's happening on the block. Or if you want, you can text me. You can send me a voice note. You already know my number. Oh, thank you for our friends listening in Antigua. Yep.
and our friends across the horizons. Yeah, what? Tell me something now. Tell me something.
Good afternoon, Franklin.
Yes, sir.
Franklin, I'm not. Tomorrow is a big day in court. Tomorrow, Mr. Lera and his so-called
Oh,
accomplice.
you know, I
will be
had to
faced
say that I'm
in
happy
court.
for. Yes, yeah. Tell me about that.
And it seems things are very quiet on the Western Front about that,
Okay.
and that even makes me more suspicious.
Okay. While you're suspicious, don't forget. Call me back. The Prime Minister's here. Okay. So I have him. I have him here. So he's ready. So let's go visit the Prime Minister.
The rights of eligible electors, including those with physical limitations. This government remains committed to ensuring the successful implementation of these reforms. Though we would have wished for the confirmation process to begin without delay, we will continue to support the Electoral Commission so that Dominica's elections remain transparent, credible, and effective, and reflective, of the will of our people. So this is it on electoral reform. I also want to inform the nation that all three unions, that is the Public Service Union, the Police Welfare Association, and the Dominica Association of Teachers, have all concluded negotiations with the government of Dominica. I want to thank the union for the professional and respectful manner in which they engaged the Dominica negotiating team. I also want to thank the government's negotiating team for the respect that they've shown to the representatives of the union. But I will say, I believe on this occasion, the unions outdid the government negotiating team because the number of things that they got, they really, I think the unions came really good this time, and I want to, but it's all in a good spirit in the effort to improving the condition of work and ensuring that we recognize the tremendous sacrifice and commitment of the public servants and police officers who carry the duties sometimes under trying and difficult circumstances. And of course, the Secretary of the Cabinet and Chief Person Officer will share the details of this at some other time and what has been concluded. But I think it was very well negotiated uh, triennium, and not only in regards to the immediate, but also looking at the future, regards to pension reform, which is so crucial to ensuring that in the sunset years of public officers and police officers, that they can certainly continue to enjoy life. And we look forward to more aggressive pension reform across the board in the public and police service service. So I want to thank everyone concerned for the negotiations, and of course, the unions came on top on this time. My final point, I am pleased to announce the appointment of Her Excellency Lauren Barnes Roberts as Dominica's new High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. Mrs. Barnes Roberts brings a wealth of experience and distinguished service to this important diplomatic role. From 2016 to 2022, she served as Dominica's permanent representative to the United Nations in New York, where she represented Dominica's interests at the highest levels of international diplomacy. In that capacity, she was a strong advocate for sustainable development, disaster resilience, and unique challenges of small island developing states. Her ministerial portfolios in community development, culture, gender affairs, information, tourism, industry, and private sector relations further demonstrated her depth of experience in public service and nation building. Against this background, I am confident that Mrs. Barnes Roberts will effectively represent Dominica in London. Her leadership and diplomatic skills will be critical in strengthening Dominica's long-standing relationship with the United Kingdom, advancing our foreign policy priorities, and addressing outstanding issues of importance to both our countries. On behalf of the government and people of Dominica, I extend warm congratulations to Mrs. Barnes Roberts on her new appointment and wish her every success as she assumes this important responsibility. In the interest of time, I will end here
and to allow the press to pose their questions to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, for this update. At this time, as the PM has indicated, we will now move to the media to ask their questions. I see that Kala is already on his feet with the mic, so we shall start with you.
We apologize for that. It appears that GIS may be experiencing some technical difficulties.
One of the biggest gospel shows of 2025, Worshippers on the Frontline Volume 3, the Independence Edition, happens Friday, September 26, 2025, at the Michael Bill Daniel Memorial Park in Goodwill, under the patronage of Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton and Mr. Burton. Join faith-based groups, families, and friends for a powerful night of praise and unity, featuring Mikhail Farrell, the Bataka Nazarene Worship Team, the Pebush Cultural Dancers, so Charles York, Sanctified, Engage, Sleep, Friends, and Vessels of Honor. Tickets only $10 at Toots Connexion, Bullseye Pharmacy, or any WOTF committee member. Support this nation-building exercise and purchase your $10 tickets or provide a donation to the Worshippers on the Frontline Committee, as 50% of all the proceeds will be given to the President's Charity Foundation. Worshippers on the Frontline Volume 3 Independence Edition, September 26, 2025. At the Michael Bill Praise of people in you.
So this government of playing it and traffic had international. So the president hands of our children very firm on this to ensure that I really want to ensure that we to prevail peace and tranquility that is our part and CARICOM's position circumstances the views expressed business of a head particular matter. There is a true police acting or subsidy granted is our duties. And time comes for and the country will be so a negative bearing on it. I have the of the so are you it will be a local? Well, whatever that you will know.
There have been a clash with the police and the that have attracted it. Give some insights. Next question is there PSs. Example, Torre has been transferred to on that, please.
Sure. Whenever something views expressed and so forth, the liberty to in uh, I think it's important for us other issues to deal with in to the welfare and well-being on but just to say in political function this government has a role and giving the police the state security only in the jurisdiction as prime minister and public is complaining about and it is public's attention police and Dominica. Once you you have my food and there's no the kind of support of approach from personal matters. But both the police in of shared response, we have to ensure that it's very important because neither have to work together. Shared society confidence on the constitutional rights changes. Yes, PS has been to the active in nature. The PS of them has been and who is that country in the ministry one and try the permanent secretary the of the whether you can place them and contribute is a norm within the public service, I think.
Dominica, the ocean is calling, and so are we. Rosalie Bay Distillery, the world's only conservation distillery, is launching a limited edition rum, Treasure la Mer, Treasures of the Sea, and we want your artwork on the label. If you're a Dominican creative, painter, illustrator, designer, this is your chance to make history, capture the rhythm of the sea. Our wild coast, our hidden treasures, and it could be your artwork on every bottle of this limited edition rum. The winning artist receives 1,000 EC, a feature on our platforms, a first edition bottle, and the chance to collaborate with our team. Submit your design by September 30th to kgeorge@oceanspower.org or deliver it in person at Nature Island Dive or the Rosalie Conservation Center. For full entry details and questions, visit us on Instagram at Rosalie Bay Distilling or email kgeorge@oceanspower.org. Rosalie Bay Distillery, where craft meets conservation.
In the Atlantic hurricane season, stay tuned to radio and television stations for regular bulletins. Rely only on official bulletins. Do not check these over the telephone. A message from Q95 FM Radio.
Feeling safe has never been as important as right now. As a mother, I trust Clean and White bleach for a powerful and safe clean to sanitize and disinfect all areas of our home, especially now that it's our workplace, school, and playground. Like many other households, you too can be confident that Clean and White bleach will kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses. Clean and White, the power of safe cleaning.
Clean and White bleach, locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
There's Smooth.
And then there's Guinness Smooth.
It's a brand new cool.
Incredibly smooth.
Perfectly balanced.
For a smooth and refreshing taste.
So how smooth? Well smooth. Guinness Smooth.
For a smooth and refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly. Socialize responsibly.
Locally distributed by Belfast Estate Limited.
If you know your favorite store, dial it now. 612-1253. That's Mega. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Calabasas, right on the main road. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram at Mega Deals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us. Visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. Buy it at Mega Deals. Your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Mega Deals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Mega Deals for some real deals.
Dominicans, insure your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, insure your properties. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business going out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Do It Center shoppers, we have exciting news. Your favorite home improvement destination just got a major upgrade. Get ready to experience the all-new Do It Center online store. Fresh look, same great products, and super user-friendly. Find what you're looking for in a snap. Need assistance? We've got you covered. Connect with our live chat agents for real-time assistance. But that's not all. Introducing the convenience of seamless online payments. with reliable delivery service straight to your door. Shopping for quality products has never been this easy. Don't miss out. Visit store.doitcenterdominica.com and experience the new era of our online shopping. Do It Center, your partner in home improvement.
Monsieur, Mesdames, get ready for one of the biggest gospel shows of 2025. Worshippers on the Frontline Volume 3. The
Supply. So I ask him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? He tell me, Gus out have sort. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. I say, no, not woman. Like land for farming crops. And then you understand. Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
That's why I wanna say that you are.
On Friday, August 29th at 10:50 a.m., Creole Helmet and Q95 FM invite you to a moment of national reflection, a living tribute to one of Dominica's most impactful sons, Honorable Julius Timothy, a statesman, a visionary, a sportsman, an exceptional businessman, a servant of the people, a man who stood firm when bold ideas needed brave voices. When the World Creole Music Festival was just a dream, Julius Timothy stood up. He championed it. He fought for it. And today, 28 years later, the World Creole Music Festival echoes the world. A global cultural legacy rooted in the courage of men like him. And as we celebrate this milestone, we awaken the spirit of our ancestors.
Miss Lauren Banis Roberts. I know some time ago there may have been some issues when her appointment was revoked. Was everything done in terms of investigations? I think you said at that time that there would be investigations, and what would have been the outcome of the investigations, and when will she officially take up her appointment?
Windsor Park, work is ongoing. Of course, the Ministry of Sports can give you a more detailed report on this, but work is ongoing. I am hoping that they're keeping to the schedule of getting the lights up for Independence and for Creole Festival. I recognize that they're working 8 to 4. I'm not sure why they're working 8 to 4 and why they're not working at night and why they're not working on a Saturday. And to get the work done, that there must be greater diligence from my observation, and to ensure that I will not be happy if the lights are not on come Independence. I don't think the country will be happy either. So the Ministry of Sports, I'm sure they're listening, and all concerned will take note and ensure that they get the job done. And so that's my hope. Okay. The issue with Mrs. Banis Roberts, as I said in my statement, and there was nothing. She didn't do anything illegal. At the time, we felt that it should not happen at the time. But time passes by, life goes on, and we have to move on, and then we have to utilize the skills and talents of everyone concerned. And you can say what you want about Lauren Banis Roberts, but she has some talents and she has some skills. And as Prime Minister, I believe that I should have her at the disposal of the country in assisting the country in advancing its national interests. And she has my full confidence in that post. She has taken up duty, I believe. She'll travel to the United Kingdom in the next few days and hope that she can present her credentials whenever His Majesty the King gives that appointment. But so she has been contracted. It's a matter of now presenting the credentials. Her Excellency, the President of Dominica, gave her the credentials to transmit to His Majesty the King, and the process will be finalized once His Majesty the King would have received the credentials from Her Excellency, the President of Dominica. And so that's it.
has been ready with regards to Lauren Bannis Roberts. It was said in 2022 that she exercised a severe lapse in judgment when she signed documents with Syria for Dominica to establish relations with Syria. I think that's where the concern was at the time. And the question is, if she were to exercise a serious lapse in judgment at that level, the question is, can she be called on in just under 3 years, 4 years, to take up a similar position? So that is really where the concern was.
Your question, and I would say that this is not an impediment to advancing her engagement. You know, as I said, it wasn't something that she did that was illegal or anything like that of that nature. As I said then, and I will say now, that I would have preferred that that action had not been taken then. You understand? But that is not something to banish somebody eternally. You know, at some point, we have to move on, and we all have to move on, and recognize that the country needs all of us at its disposal to do what we have to do for the country, and let us move on. I do not think that any one of us is of no sin, and so, you know, we have to move on, and as Prime Minister, I've moved on, and I have looked beyond that and look at the greater interests of the country, and put Lauren to work.
Yeah, I know that was where the problem.
Separate issue. It's a separate issue, and it's a new world situation, new circumstance in Syria. You know, we maintain relations with all countries. You know, we have relations with most countries, and at different levels and different levels of engagement. But certainly, Syria is an important country in the global architecture, and we will certainly engage Syria at all levels. We did not like what was happening at the time, you know, for obvious reasons, which I don't want to litigate now, that we're all aware of. But certainly, we will look towards establishing relations with Syria, and ensuring that the new order in Syria can usher in a better way of life for all the Syrian people.
Prime Minister, has there been an investigation into the collapse of the Dominica Grammar School? The case that the Ministry of Education is saying that the have school reopen by the 8th of September. I know that there was an announcement about the collapse of the roof and an impending investigation. Can you tell us whether that investigation in fact took place?
The investigation has been done at different levels. It was done by our local engineers, and also we engaged a structural engineer from St. Lucia, who came to Dominica and spent a few days there and did assessments. Obviously, these things require very meticulous considerations. There are things that one can look at the naked eye and say, well, this is what happened, but as far as science is concerned, you have to do further tests and to advise yourself from a scientific standpoint what may have caused the roof to collapse. And so that final report is not with us yet. I haven't seen it. It's not with us yet, and we await this. But just to say to the public that under no circumstances will students have access to this building. The auditorium is a building on its own, set aside from the rest of the school, and the buildings that will house the students and teachers and staff. And for school in September, that building will be cordoned off, so there'll be no access by the students, by the teachers, and by users of the grammar school compound. And so this will be safe, and the auditorium will be constructed, taking into consideration the report that will be provided and the redesign of the building. From my naked eyes, I believe that the walls need to be broken down, demolished, and maybe rebuilt from foundation. That's from my naked eyes. Yeah. But rest assured that appropriate measures will be taken to ensure that no student has access to this building. As a matter of fact, I have asked on my return that instruction be given to have the walls demolished so that there's no chance of anything happening to any student, any teacher, anybody who uses the grammar school. Just for even if we don't break it down, there will not be any challenge because you'll be caught enough. But just to give parents and teachers the further peace of mind that all of the appropriate actions are taken by the government to ensure and assure them of their security and safety. In respect to the rest of the building, the ministry is working with the contractors to ensure that they can push to have everything in place for the start of school in September 8th. There was a site visit yesterday by the ministry and other government officials, along with the contractors and developers, to assess where we are, what is outstanding, and what needs to be done to ensure that that we get school up and going by September 8th. Now, when you build a new facility and you have to move in, there'll always be teething issues. And so you may say you start school in September 8th, but you'll have some movements where you may delay for in some classrooms because this is missing and that, so they're really pushing, all fairness to them, but hoping that with barring any unforeseen challenges, they should push. I'm hoping that they could bring some floodlights and work at night. So that's a matter they should consider, rather than parking your tools at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you have a deadline to reach. So I'm sure they're listening to me, and I'm hoping that from tomorrow they could start. And I don't think the Lord would be unkind to them if they work on Saturdays, because if your ass fall in the well and on Sabbath and you have to get it off, then you may have to do that. I think these are your questions, right? Yeah.
The lyrical content of the Booyah music in Dominica. What do you think? And that question is in light of allegations that an entertainer was taken in for questioning yesterday. What do you think about the lyrics that you hear from the Booyah artists in Dominica?
My personal views as a citizen of the country or as Prime Minister. It's not for me. I think it's a matter for the society. Because as you know, in Dominica, we can be very strange. Sometimes we support something, and depending where the government stand, we go against it, and the government's in tomorrow. So we play a lot of political football on issues. I'm not in. For me personally, I'm not in the business of censoring. I'm not in the business of censoring. I recall when this Bouillon Nasty Business just came out, people calling for us to ban the songs and not engage them, and etc., etc. But I looked at it differently. I saw this as an opportunity for many young men who may not have an opportunity otherwise to be on the safe and narrow. And I think it's left to us to engage them and to assist them in developing the art form to a level and to a content that is pleasing to everybody's ears, but not to speak about banning or censoring. I think it's a matter for us to guide, because it's an opportunity for guys. We did not want them to play in Creole Festival while they played in France and Germany, which made no sense to me. As Prime Minister, this is why I intervened and placed them on Creole Festival. And they went and they gave the best performance for the entire 3 nights of the festival. And so we have to always put people we always have to put ourselves in people's shoes, and not sit on a high and pontificate and say this about people and other people. I could be one of these boys, and how would I want to be treated if I was one of them? You understand? And so I look at life not from my selfish perspective, but from that person's perspective, that person's circumstance in life. And then I place myself in that person's shoes and ask, how would I want to be treated? And so while we would want the artist to stay away from using filthy language and words and so on. But banning and censoring should not be our main preoccupation. Or I'm not going to get involved in arresting. I'm not sure why the person was arrested, on what circumstance the person was arrested. And that's not for me to make a determination on. That's for the police and the director of public prosecution. So I don't get involved in those matters. I'm only speaking about the art form and the content of the lyrical content of songs, and how do we as a society treat those songs and those opportunities. But it's interesting that sometimes, but so would have time today for me to share my extended views on these issues. But I believe that we need to encourage these youngsters and to support them and to make sure that they use their money properly to uplift themselves. Because when you're in this business, you can be on a high for a couple of years and then you go on a low for a long time, and that you have to invest your money wisely, so that when you go on a low, that then the high days can help you in the low days. And so this is how I see it. And so let's support the guys and the girls. I see a young lady is now featuring. What's her name? I think she's a Fabia. What's this? Huh? Who was the young lady from Baffin State? Grand Bay, from Grand Bay singing. You guys too old there. You guys. That's, I think it's Donny Fabian's daughter, who is featuring now in the Bouillon circles, and now taking the US by storm. Yeah.
The Dominica Calypso Association has written to the Office of the Prime Minister and the Discover Dominica Authority. I don't know if you seem like you've not received that letter. Right, asking for them to have a presence at the World Creole Music Festival. So now you highlighted the Bouillon artists and so on. Is there a place for calypso music at the festival this year?
I don't know. I mean, I think they've selected the bands and so on. But I mean that's a matter for the. I leave it to the festival commissions to determine. But your mere reaction to the question may have answered your own question on this matter. But so another time I'll give my views on this. But that's a matter for the festival commissions.
Spoke about new buildings, and lots of them coming up. And one which has catch our attention is the one on the south. There's a new hotel which is expected to be opened very, very soon, October. But there is some underlying issues there as it relates to some smell, which is, I mean, I walk in the morning. No, this is serious. I walk in the morning, and when you hit Loubier, you smell that. So if you're about to open in October, how are you going to deal with that smell? And you're expecting to have visitors and other persons in there. What will the government, or what does the government intend to do to assist? Because I mean, this is a major hotel on the island. So I mean, this is of grave concern to. Yes.
The issue of the hotel and so on, and we look forward to the hotel opening. I think it's going to add tremendous value to the quality of our rooms in Dominica and the number of rooms that we need in Dominica. Because as you see, our visitor numbers are growing. Look, we have this direct flight now from St. Thomas, and we're expanding. And of course, with the advent of the international airport, you will see us taking off literally. And so it's important on the issue of and of course this hotel has been financed under the Citizens by Investment Program by a local Dominican, and all this has been a deliberate attempt by the government to empower local Dominicans to be part of the engine of growth and job creation in Dominica. and to build local capacity and local successful people. But on this issue, and this is a matter for the environmental health department to look at and to see what environmental challenges this place is posing to the health and well-being of everyone. And so I'm sure that they will look at this matter and determine what needs to be done with regards to that.
My final question. Someone just saying that please ask the Prime Minister about the cabinet approved salary for the doctors at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, which the Prime Minister said that on August 6th, there would be an approval for an increase in salary for doctors at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital.
So what we've done, as you know, I was out. I came back on the weekend, and so. But yesterday on Tuesday in cabinet, we approved some 26 positions for specialists, various specialist positions in the Ministry of Health. I believe we will immediately appoint about 11 of those people, the 11 people who will appoint immediately into those positions who are on contracts or who on temporary engagements, and the additional is open to be filled, and so the Ministry of Health will be in a position to recruit additional personnel to provide care to our citizens, and this is a major step forward, and I believe that it will help address some of the concerns that the doctors have in terms of their tenure, in terms of their recognition, and also give the Ministry of Health the opportunity to recruit additional medical personnel. Now, on the issue of salaries, what we're seeking to do is to improve the package that doctors receive in Dominica at all levels, and to allow them to be more comfortable with the pay that they're receiving. That will be commensurate with their task. The other thing that we want to do is to get more of those doctors, especially the specialist doctors, to be at the complete disposal of the public health system. Because one of the challenges you have at the hospital, which is a challenge that you have the world over, so in Dominica, unique circumstance, and therefore I'm not criticizing the doctors at all. I'm just stating a fact and how we're trying to overcome that challenge. That all of the specialists at the hospital are also engaged in private practice. You understand? And so you always will have a challenge if you do not have doctors who are there 24/7 to the public healthcare system. And so what we're seeking to do is to provide better terms for those who would opt not to go into private practice, but commit themselves wholly and fully to the public health system, so that you would see people paying less for surgery, less for the delivery of a baby, less for care, because that person there would be no need for that person to engage a private consultant to provide a surgery to them. So if you take orthopedic or we have three, but all are engaged in private practice. If we get one to give us 5 surgeries every week in the public system, then that would certainly reduce on the cost of to the patient and of course to the government itself. And so these are the kind of things that we're seeking to do to help address some of the concerns which the public has raised in respect to the care that they receive at the hospital. And so I'm hoping that next week that we can get this paper so we can approve of those new terms for the doctors and so forth. I think some of what may have been recommended was a little bit too low, and so it needs to be increased a bit so that we appear not to be giving any token, but seeking to address the matter frontally and seriously, And so if we're gonna make a change, I think the change has to be sensible and respectful to the medical professionals.
Government has said that they will put in place a music awards for 2025. PM, we've not heard too much on it, but is that still on? Is that still on, the music awards that the government has mentioned? And I want to talk a little about Stephen Pascal and Arsenio Fontaine, two young, impressive Dominican batsmen. Stephen Pascal having captained the West Indies under-19 team at the Youth World Cup in South Africa, and Arsenio Fontaine just been called by the West Indies under-19 team. Two young Dominicans. But the question is, Prime Minister, how do we keep these players playing for a long period of time? Because a lot of times we hear many young players come to the fore and then later on we don't hear anything about them. Is there something the government can do to keep these players together? I mentioned the two, Stephen Pascal and Arsenio Fontaine. There may be more, but is there a program that the government can put in place or sports division to ensure that these players play for a lengthy period?
You know, I mean, we have been providing support to athletes, cricketers included, in terms of financial support and addressing their social and domestic circumstance to ensure that they do not have those things affecting them in the formative years of the engagement by the West Indies Cricket Board. And so we've been doing that, and we will certainly will be doing that for these two cricketers. But it's also left to them to ensure that they be disciplined, and they continue to be disciplined, and they continue to take advice from the coaches, and to ensure that that they perform and stay on the team. But insofar as ensuring that we provide whatever material support to them and emotional and psychological support, then certainly we'll provide that. And I'm sure that the Ministry of Sports will meet with them and to engage them and to ensure that, like we've done for Afanaz and for Calvin Hodge, we'll certainly do for them and to encourage them to move on to higher heights. Okay. The music awards, yes. I'm a little bit disappointed that we have not done much in terms of advancing it. I believe that it will be a great opportunity for our country to have its own music awards, because we have so much talent there that we need to recognize and commend and congratulate and to celebrate. And I'm hoping that the relevant ministries can get their act together and to engage persons like Ambassador Wadix Charles to put a framework in place and a structure in place towards setting up this music festival, and let it be a real music festival, music awards, and serve as an encouragement to up and coming artists in Dominica. So I look forward to those ministries concerned getting together and really putting things in place for us to host this event, which will become a yearly event. Because one of the things I believe, Curtis, is that we don't celebrate people enough in our country, and their successes. We spend more time with a microscope looking for people's faults and shortcomings, and we celebrate those rather than celebrating people's success. And so we have to try to ward ourselves off of the inherent envy and jealousy, which we seem to be carrying around, and to really look at the positive side of life and supporting people and encouraging people, being positive and constructive, celebrating successes, and so forth. So that's the only way we're going to impart a culture of excellence in our children and succeeding generations. If they see that there's a positive attitude in our society, that we're celebrating people who are successful, we celebrate people who have done well, we're giving them the kudos while they're alive, we give them the flowers while they're alive, then, I should do that myself too, and so I can get this thing. Because if 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 negative um, if negative if negative reinforcement is what we always give, then people will do negative things to get that info, that recognition. But we have to go more on the positive side of things, and so that people can do positive things. The whole notion that you think positively, you will do positive things, then that is what we have to 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 be in our society, and so that we all can enjoy whatever the Lord has given to us to enjoy. But I find sometimes in Dominica we focus too much on the negative, and the Lord gave us the internet and social platforms, and to promote the good that we're supposed to be doing, and to network in a constructive way, and to get business and to do things. But we use it as what do we use it as? I mean,
I know we've run out of time.
yeah.
It has to do with a new minimum wage for Dominica. This young lady I met at the supermarket this morning, and this farmer I met earlier on yesterday, they're asking about a minimum wage. Can you update us, please, sir?
Honorable Minister of Finance announced in his budget address, the government has appointed the advisory board. So this advisory board is in place. The Minister of Acting Minister for Labour, Honorable Pinard, reported to the cabinet that he met with the board a couple of weeks ago, and the board is doing its work. The mandate is that a report should come to us in September, so that a new minimum wage should take effect in Dominica in October 1. So we're hoping that they can do the work diligently and judiciously, and to provide the minister with advice on what they believe would be a fair rate for minimum wage in Dominica, various categories of workers. And because the mandate by the Parliament is for us to give effect to a minimum wage October 1, 2025. And so we look forward to that, because clearly it is only the Parliament that can give an increase. Other workers can have negotiations with the union. So you had public service union negotiating the government. So that's how you get to stop. And police welfare negotiating the government and its employer. The port workers will negotiate. The union will negotiate DASPA. So it's only minimum wage that is really controlled by law, and therefore it's important for us to ensure that we pay attention to this. This is why when we last increased the minimum wage in 2021, we indicated that every 3 years we'd have a review, to take into consideration the every 3-year review that the public service is having with its employees. So this is what we're doing, and we look forward to the report in September, so it could take effect October 1. I'm sure the young lady is listening, and I too look forward to she getting a better pay come October 1. So I want to thank you, the press, for your very insightful and provocative questions today. But we look forward to working with you. This is our country. Please be reminded that we are in the hurricane season. Let us not take things for granted. We're keeping our fingers crossed while we continue to pray that we're not affected by any natural disaster. We cannot afford it. The world cannot afford it. And it's important for us to take action. If the drain is blocked in front of our yard, we mustn't wait for the NEP. We should go and clean it. If a tree is a hazard, let us prune it ourselves. We can't call the government for that. That's for us to do for ourselves. And to ensure that we reach out to our neighbors, especially the sick and shut-in, the physically challenged, the senior citizens, so that not only you are safe, but everybody in the country, in your community, is safe. And that's what we got to do. Because if someone in your community is not safe, then you're not safe. We have to ensure that everybody is safe and everybody can be accounted for as we go through this hurricane season. So far, the Lord has spared us. We continue to pray for that, but we must not be like the foolish virgins. We must have enough oil in our lamp, and we must be prepared for any eventuality. Thank you very much, and may God bless our efforts. And let us, anything you hear from me today, or you go home, let us be positive. There's so much negative around, there's so much work to do, and many things to deal with. God gave us a talent. Each of us a talent. We must examine ourselves and determine what is our talent. Certainly not negative. So let's be positive and constructive and support each other. And as we go through the world's challenge, the world is too difficult now. The world is rough, very, very difficult. And it requires us to work diligently together. Whatever differences we have, as secondary to the challenges that the world is putting at us today. And that's my major preoccupation, how difficult the world is today. And ensuring that we can navigate those challenges and to so that we can be in a position to always provide for our people and that our people can live peaceable lives and we can all live in a place of security and hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister. Thank you very much to everyone who joined us here in person and those of you who listen live. Have a good afternoon.
Timothy, a statesman, a visionary, a sportsman, an exceptional businessman, a servant of the people, a man who stood firm when bold ideas needed brave voices. When the World Creole Music Festival was just a dream, Julius Timothy stood up. He championed it. He fought for it. And today, 28 years later, the World Creole Music Festival echoes the world. A global cultural legacy rooted in the courage of men like him.